All right, so I was working on a side hustle, didn't work out at this point. I left an additional comment on one of many other issues that PrimeNG, a component library I've used for at least like 4 years of like 8 year professional career in software development. Um, so they have a template called selected items template. So this one right here. And it just doesn't work, only unless you're in multi-select mode. So it seems as though they never hooked it up or it wasn't intended to be that way, but drop downs, this is how this works. And so it's very strange. And at work, I wanted to display some tabular data, and I had to just use a string. And that's what I said. I had to use my toString instead of doing all this janky if field, then option label this, and concatenate that. Like, whatever. That is hideous. When the component library should do a lot, was supposed to do a lot of that for me. So, let's see. Open preview. Oh man. God, Gitpod is so awesome. So, Gitpod automatically opened up my forked repo of PrimeNG. It runs npm install and then run. And so, PrimeNG is a pretty old, or it's been around for a while. So it has a pretty simple bundle. It's all just working, which is awesome. So we're going to go down to selected item. Let me see if I can. We're going to pop this up because this is not working for me. Alright. So this is the same as their production site. You go to their docs, which is awesome. I love the fact that this just worked. Like, this is why I started streaming. It just worked. It's beautiful. Their docs are pretty amazing. So what I want to do is I want to find the selected item functionality, and I'm going to fucking fix it. So let's see if I can find the AutoComplete demo for templating. So template only shows item, so they're not really going to show me, and you see that field name. So they clearly haven't intended it for it to be that way, but their docs show a selected item and it's only useful for multi-select. So either I'm going to put a PR in for their docs, or I'm going to put a PR that makes selected item work, because it's bothered me. This has been an outstanding bug since I started using PrimeNG. Alright, so let's see. So let's see, we'll select that and it just uses the name. So I'm going to find this example right in the docs. So this code base is in my clutches, not what I want. So template doc.ts, that's cool. I haven't really looked at their docs much. So we're going to search for that. So this is the code. Interesting. So app code. Okay, I see. That's cool. Interesting. Very cool. So that's how they're displaying it. It's all just template strings. Okay. So that's not going to do me a whole lot of good. So this is the actual component, and if I'm looking here, app doc section text, that has the actual demo right here. So I'm going to remove field name, save it, it's going to rebuild. This is going to refresh on me. And look at that. So rebuilds, just that's what I love about this. I hope one day to incorporate this into my work. So object, that's what I wanted. And what am I doing? I want to prove that selected item doesn't work in this scenario. Just reading the docs, it definitely doesn't seem like they haven't made it clear that it's not supposed to work, but they also haven't said it's supposed to work. But based on their drop-down functionality, I would expect it to work. So that should rebuild. And that'll be hilarious if this just works. So it doesn't, right? So now this is where I want to start debugging. The actual autocomplete component. Ooh, what's going on here? I'm actually curious. Let's go from the module down. So they import all that stuff just to create the, that's the dock module. Ooh. Yeah, it's right there. And look at this bad boy. It's the craziest input you've ever seen in your life. Alright. Oof. And this is why you use component libraries. Because your markdown could look like this once it gets real feature heavy. So this is our NG selected item template. So if we have one, if we don't have one, we use the option label, and the get option label, I believe, was that code that guy shared with me. Yeah, exactly, which was like, thanks bro, I appreciate it. So if we don't have a selected item template, then use that. Otherwise, that's going to pop up in this list item, which this is, I think, the actual input value, model value. Holy shit, it's the craziest thing you've ever seen. Turn around, I'm not, no judgment here. So what it does is it grabs for each PrimeNG template, which is our P template, it, in a switch statement, knows where to drop it or assign it. I wish they could use query selectors through transclusion instead. Oop, lost my headset for a second. I wish they used transclusion, but they do not. Alright, let's see. Alright, yeah, I mean, let's just put some breakpoints in here. Probably need to debug somehow. I don't know if that's going to work, but I'm really curious if it would. I think I can get away with that. Yeah, I can't do it. Hold on. So I can't debug in this way. That's something I haven't really tried from here. Really just seeing if it can build. It's really useful to do that. I'll have to pull this and run it locally. Well, what I can do Nope, not what I wanted. I do it the good old-fashioned hard way. Boom, shakalaka. And this is why JavaScript is nice, because it's a scripting language in this way, and I can debug it. It has some not so great things. So what we're going to do here, there's definitely many of them. This is our breakpoint a lot, isn't it? Yep. Okay, so that's undefined, and we're going to set that there. So that all seemed to happen. Now if I was to use, I don't have my anchor debugger. Alright, so no model, but let's take a look at all of its properties. So, what did I just click? I just clicked. Expected that to be. I don't think it gave me where I wanted to be. Yeah, right here. Alright. So this is ng model inputs. Let's go to the actual component. Here we go. I just didn't scroll down far enough. So I do have a selected template. Selected item template. And I do have an item template. And according to this code that we just read here together, selected item template is used here. And if it doesn't have that, then it shouldn't go to the option label. It should just use selected item template. But it doesn't. Why? So I think it was intended. Their docs don't really tell you a whole lot, but it clearly doesn't work the way it should, from what I can tell. I'd like to debug this. How can I debug this better? Well, I can say for certain if it goes to option label. So if we go here, well, it's going to check there is no field. But what this tells me is this came from, now let's go through the stack trace, AutoComplete template here. So does that mean, so this might not be, so it's actually the attribute ID causing it. And if we don't have an item template. So this is not what I'm worried about. Let's just make sure again, it's coming, okay, same place, that's fine. So that's going to happen a lot. Alright, so be it. Now I'm going to unpause that, we're going to select one. It's fine. All these things are going to get called a 2 trillion times. Lord have mercy. How am I going to do this? I might be able to add just a console log. It's not my favorite way to play this game. Right, here we go. Undefined. So what this tells me... Oh, it's still coming from there. Okay, well, that's good. I would have expected it to come from... Where is it? There's the selected item one. I would have expected it to come from here, but I can see how these ones would trigger that as well no matter what, so this is a good test. Yeah, for some reason this ngIf doesn't seem to be functioning. So what I can do is I'll add a method. Well, it's crazy. It's really no need. So I can just breakpoint it though and know it's coming from the ngIf. So we're going to do it exactly where it should be if it was a production environment, right above that I did. Selected item template exists. We're going to do something very cheesy. Would never ship this. Okay. So I'm going to change that. We should rebuild now. Give it a second. I definitely want to figure out how I could run debuggers for the web UI in Gitpod. That would be a cool thing to stream. Okay. So all that's there. I know. So that is good. My page loaded. Probably will never say that statement out loud again. Okay. Going to type in. Never gets hit. Why? Why doesn't that get hit? That's really good information. So that never got hit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo the get I made that. So we're going to now call it as a method. Only on ng if multiple. Well, don't I feel stupid? Don't I just feel dumb? Alright, let's undo all that stuff I just did. Well, that explains why it doesn't work. So I don't care. I'm going to say, alright, it's as simple as that. Not multiple. So where it's not multiple, now where is... Huh. Is it because it's an input? I wonder. So only if it's that. It's the drop down icon, that's the loader, that's if it's filled. Huh. Where is its value. Item is in here somewhere, so it's overlay, I think. And the overlay is where item exists. Template built-in items. Item template right there. So that's in an overlay. And this input here this input has no ability to display that. That's so tragic. I see the challenge and why they haven't gone for it. Now let's say I just put this right here. No, I can't do that. I need the global. Holy shit, they use a signal? Damn, they're using signals. In their autocomplete already. Damn. Look at them go. Compute, holy shit, they're up to date. That's awesome. I like how they write that. Input value. That's how they're doing it, right there. And that's using computed. It grabs the option label. Alright, it's official. After looking at the autocomplete code, they use an input and they don't allow it. So now let's go one step further and take a look at the dropdown. Theoretically, as far as I see it, these dropdowns, or select, as HTML standard we call it, shouldn't be too far down, too far away. It's interesting that they don't use the component syntax. It's just named dropdown. So we have selected item template. They have the same thing. And so this is an expectation I had from the dropdown going to autocomplete, but they're clearly very different. And label is probably the same shit as get option label. I don't know why my control click isn't working. Just going to use the outline then if you're not going to help me. Yeah, wow, they really converted everything to signals. I'm really impressed how they've kept up to date. took me forever. Oh, it's computed, that's why I missed it. That's weird. So it's saying get all visible, selected option. Huh. Let's see such a thing. Okay. So that's just good to know. It's a computed signal. So now going back to the template here. If we don't have a selected item, we just use the label. And if it equals p empty label, put in a space. It's really weird. If it doesn't, just use the label. Now let's see what I can do to the autocomplete to push it. And that would be input value. What would it be? It would be this model value. The model value is an object. Yeah, I just want the model value. Pretty sure I saw this dot, no? No, okay, then I'm just losing it. That's fine. Well, let's see if I can push it. Alright, so let's see, did it? Oh, oh, no, oh, no, no. It's not here. So I don't think I'm allowed to use it that way. Finally, it's working. So it's computed. Oh. So objects returned. So let's say that I don't do that, right? So I use input value. Both of these. because it will return the object, or the actual object. It just renders via string that way. Let's see. I don't know how I would write that. Don't fall. Stupid. Oh. I don't know what I would have done. What would have caused that? So it does use it. Well, that's the multiple, sorry. Shit.
Excuse me, Alaska. Bad girl.
Weird. Well, long story short, I think I pushed it to my limit here, and I'm going to keep playing around with this, but I wanted to stream this PrimeNG issue that's been long.